I know on this channel previously, I've been pretty critical of people who believe that aliens are visiting the Earth on the regular, like Eric Weinstein, who is quite obviously being pranked by someone who has him convinced that at some point he's going to be flown to a secret Air Force base and shown irrefutable proof of aliens, him and him alone, and maybe Sam Harris. Or Avi Loeb, who is convinced that every expert in the world is wrong and that the first interstellar object to be detected entering our solar system is actually an alien craft. Just trust him, bro. But today I want to talk about a truly rational UFO / UAP, whatever you want to call them, proponent. Just kidding. I want to talk about Ashton Forbes, a complete mess of a person. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I love mess. Ashton Forbes is a healthcare IT consultant who was blissfully unknown by the larger internet up until a few months ago when he watched two videos purporting to show Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 disappearing in some kind of implosion or wormhole, along with three mysterious orbs. Flight 370 was an international flight in 2014 that it was supposed to fly from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, but it went off course before disappearing from radar off the coast of northwestern Malaysia. Despite a lengthy international investigation, it's still not exactly clear what happened to the plane and everyone aboard, though some of the top hypotheses include a mass murder-suicide by one of the pilots, or an explosion from the 2 tons of lithium-ion batteries that were in the cargo hold. In the past few years, several pieces of debris have been found on the beaches of the Western Indian Ocean that officials determined to be very likely or almost certainly from that plane. But as you know, whenever there's something we don't completely understand and may never truly understand, conspiracy theorists and magical thinkers will jump to fill in the blanks with whatever they're most interested in. And so in this case, a lot of people think that the answer is aliens. Because, angels are just so passé. I was just going to leave that as a throwaway line, but isn't it funny how for several millennia, all strange phenomena were attributed to angels or demons, and ever since the mid-1950s or so, those have all gone away to be replaced by aliens? Like, I feel so bad for religion. It just keeps losing at every turn. Like, evolution, Christmas, now anal probes. Anyway, about 10 years ago, someone posted 2 videos online claiming that they show 2 different angles of Malaysia Flight 370 being, teleported to another dimension by 3 little sprites. These videos were mostly ignored, but when Forbes happened across them, he decided that this must be clear evidence for alien interference in our world, and he set out to call attention to them. So the UFO fans welcomed him into their open arms, and he began making the rounds on various podcasts and radio shows to preach the good news. On Reddit and Twitter, he argued that attempts by so-called experts to debunk the videos was just disinformation, like as were the community notes corrections and any other attempts by experts to correct him with facts. This disinformation campaign was just proof that he must be right because there's shadowy government agents clearly trying to silence him with facts. Despite this silencing, Forbes kept appearing on bigger and bigger platforms, really just speed running the conspiracy theorist pipeline, even landing on Alex Jones eventually, because of course. A few weeks ago, he finally hit my radar by appearing on the Danny Jones podcast, which is a show in which Danny Jones interviews fringe personalities for more than 750,000 subscribers on YouTube alone. It's a 3-hour-long monster of an interview. I only recommend you dive in if you, like me, have a debilitating addiction to watching weirdos get real cringy. Things first started getting a little uncomfy when Forbes insisted that he was being silenced by Reddit moderators for banning him from their subreddits for supposed harassment, and also by Reddit itself for banning his subreddit. That was just a hint of what was to come, though, because after a relatively softball interview, around hour 2, the cringe is launched into the stratosphere where it is promptly surrounded by magical orbs who blip it into another dimension. Because it turns out that prior to that interview, Jones showed those two videos, the videos that set Forbes off on this journey. He showed them to Nico Puringer, a member of Corridor Crew, which is a group of visual effects artists who have a YouTube series in which they watch videos and break down how they think they were made. Puringer said that the videos are, to him, an expert, obviously fake, though well done. And as evidence, he points to aspects like the fact that the clouds in the background of one video never move at all, that the supposed satellite shooting the video isn't moving, and that the contrails coming from the plane engines would not show up on a thermal camera. Jones shows this breakdown to Forbes, and his reaction is obviously to take this expert commentary seriously and consider each point in the spirit that it's offered. Just kidding, he dismisses it all before Puringer's even finished explaining what he means.
This flash here would illuminate the clouds.
It does.
But it does not.
It does illuminate the clouds. That's
Well,
another false statement.
Hang on. Pause.
Yeah.
All right, let's watch. Stop going through your computer.
I got it. I just didn't make some notes because I want to be able to address all these points because every single thing can be addressed.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're paying attention to it.
I am.
Around it, as we see.
You can see the illumination, right? You can see it.
But that's just a compositing trick where you just select an area of your image and you brighten it. What is not happening is we're not seeing any new light direction. We're not seeing shadows being cast in a different direction. No parts of the cloud that were dark are now taking on light and showing us a different volumetric shape of the cloud. This is just classic compositing. We've done it all the time with our fake muzzle flashes when we do gunfights, where you just select part of your image and you brighten it up.
Oh my God, it's so cringe. It's so hard to watch. But the real kicker comes when Puringer reveals that he is in possession of the actual effect the original editor used to create that wormhole or implosion or blip or whatever. It was originally discovered by Redditors when they found that it was used in a video game in the mid-90s. And sure enough, Nico uses that effect to create an implosion that is exactly the same as the one in the video. Watch as he lays them over one another and adjusts the opacity so you can see just how close it is.
Well, if we go back and forth, we see that they perfectly line up.
They definitely not perfectly
The ripples are all in this same spot. The burnt-in dots here in the same spot.
Wow.
It's that element.
Now, you might think that that is completely unimpeachable evidence that this was faked, but according to Forbes, you would be wrong. Why? I present to you the Forbes theory of universal butthole homogeneity.
This is like saying that my butthole is your butthole because they're similar, right? It's not. We don't have the same butthole because of that.
Forbes goes on to make it really clear he just doesn't understand how special effects work. He thinks that because the effect as it appeared in that video game in the 90s doesn't look exactly the same as it looks in the video, he thinks that it can't be the same. I mean, I only know enough about video editing to cobble together these YouTube videos every week, but even I know that you don't insert an effect by literally copying the final product from another video and pasting it into your video. You get the original effect generator, you apply it to your video, and then it is somewhat unique to your video. But anyway, like I say, the whole 3 hours is incredible. If you're at all interested in the psychology of a conspiracy theorist, Forbes is what we call a true believer who is so deeply invested in this, not just as something he believes, but as a core part of his identity. You know, Puringer is so nice, so clear, so good at explaining his expertise to a lay audience. And he even goes above and beyond by pointing out that the videos are really well done, and it's understandable that non-experts would think that these videos are real. Puringer is so good at this that after watching this, I actually went and subscribed to his video site, corridordigital.com, so that I could see his full breakdown. They're not paying me to say that. They're just good, you know? But even with this pitch perfect explanation or, debunk, to use a mean term, Forbes doesn't even begin to consider the idea of changing his mind. In fact, he's barely even listening to Puringer in the first place. dismissive is actually too forgiving a word to explain his attitude. It's like describing visual effects to a bowl of pudding that is actually really rude and full of itself, because Forbes goes on to accuse Perringer of lying, being lazy, of being less knowledgeable about visual effects than a healthcare IT consultant who first got interested in this in August. But friends, unfortunately, that is not where our story ends, because I'm not the only one who noticed that Forbes is both hopelessly deluded and incredibly arrogant. In previous videos I've done about con artists, I've mentioned that the easiest people to scam are the people who think that they're too smart to be scammed, and people who are greedy or desperate for something. Sure enough, Forbes got scammed hard on a live stream while hundreds of people watched. So last week, someone contacted Forbes claiming to have a RAR file that proved that these videos were real, including additional video evidence. He was skeptical at first, as he told Chris Lato on his YouTube channel on December 14th. But after hundreds of emails back and forth, he says, with the source getting cold feet several times, Forbes decided, you know what, that proves he's legit. And so Forbes decided to get the RAR file in exchange for $3,000. The file was password protected, and instead of giving him the password, the source gave him a weird clue in the form of a picture that he had to figure out. Because that's how whistleblowing works, It's like the 2017 cinematic masterpiece, The Snowman. I gave you all the clues, Mr. Forbes. Just looking at the thumbnails before he even figured out the password, Forbes was convinced he had struck gold and that all of his critics were going to eat crow.
Debunker, yeah, we win. We win. Debunkers are on suicide watch. Debunkers are on suicide watch right now. Debunkers are straight up on suicide watch. Car Nicobar. Yeah, we're going to permanently destroy the credibility of the Corridor crew for the rest of their lives. And the podcasters that came at us. Permanently destroy their credibility.
While he was live streaming on his own channel, the dastardly puzzle was solved. The password was the name of the file with an extra digit added, and he readied himself to become the greatest UFO researcher of all time. Here's what happened.
Yes! 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 Holy shit! Holy shit! MQ-1C Gray Eagle! Holy shit! Holy shit! Yes! Oh my god, I'm gonna get killed. Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Whoa, look, we gotta look at the other one. Oh, the password was cracked. The password was cracked. Holy shit! It's the stereoscopic drone video. Or stereoscopic satellite. Holy shit. Chat, take screenshots, chat. Chat, take screenshots. I'm going to put the password in the chat. Did I get scammed?
Yeah, the file was just a declassified manual for a drone. You can find it if you Google the name of the drone. It's the first result. So he's down $3,000, but of course he's not out, not yet. No, he just deleted all of those live streams about the scam and forged ahead, pretending that he never fell for it. Not that hard. Of course, the internet is forever. So if you'd like to see clips from the live streams, check the links in my transcript linked below, as always, on my Patreon. When he does acknowledge that he was scammed, it's to use it as proof that shadowy people are coordinated against him to silence his truth, because, of course. In the meanwhile, someone on Reddit has come forward to say that he was the guy who made the original video as test footage for a short film. He described in detail how he did it, confirmed that he used the video effect from the 1990s, and as a bonus, he revealed that he has dabbled in kink and erotic photography and says, quote, "I've photographed a butthole or two in my time. They are not the same. Buttholes, like combustion-based 90s VFX elements, are more like fingerprints. No two are alike." Is he telling the truth? I do not know. Anyone can go on Beyonce's internet and tell lies about VFX and buttholes. What we do know for sure is that it can be very costly to cast yourself as the main character in your own real-life conspiracy whistleblower movie. Unfortunately, I suspect that this won't be the last time someone scams Forbes, and I further suspect that he's going to continue to get interviewed by popular podcasts. Hey, I wonder if Eric Weinstein is looking for a good guest. God help me, I'd tune in. I know. I'm sick. I love mess. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you think the world could use more videos like this and you happen to have a few bucks laying around, head to patreon.com/Rebecca and join an awesome community of nerds like the people whose names you see on the screen right now. Thanks.